I'm Wendy, a relationship specialist. I'd like to welcome you to Love, Listen, Talk, Repeat, a podcast that talks all about relationships. They come in all shapes and sizes, and each one's unique. So in this podcast, I chat with guests about life events and issues that can affect relationships, as well as discussing different types of relationships that may not always fit the mould of being mainstream. There will also be some episodes where it's just me talking about something that may be helpful in your relationship. So for now, just sit back and enjoy. So you find yourself in an emotional or physical or sexually abusive relationship. You're really unhappy, scared, hurting, but you're not quite sure what to do. Your partner keeps telling you that it's not abusive, that it's your fault, that if only you had behaved in a different way, that it wouldn't have happened, that you made them get angry, upset, whatever it was, that caused them to behave in that way. Part of you knows you should leave, but it's not that easy. I know, because I was in an emotionally abusive relationship for several years. He didn't use physical violence against me, but the threat was there. I walked on eggshells every day. Everything I said or did was measured so as not to make him angry. He watched every move I made. He monitored my phone calls. He didn't like me having friends. I had to explain everything I did, where I was going, who I was talking to. Every single part of my life had to be open to him, his scrutiny. And if the times that I just said I can't take any more, and I want out of this relationship, it's got to end, he threatened suicide or violence against me. Or, even worse, against my family. So I was far too scared to leave, because I was worried what he might do, either to himself or to my loved ones or myself. He put me down all the time until I had no self-confidence left. How could I leave? How could I tell anyone? I was so ashamed. How could I, an intelligent woman, allow myself to be treated in this way? It wasn't like that all the time, because sometimes he was kind and considerate and loving. He said sorry sometimes for his behaviour, but it still kept happening. And so in the end I just decided I just couldn't take any more. It took an awful lot of courage. So if you're in that position, I really understand how it feels for you. I had to change my mindset. I had to rethink things out. I had to accept that it wasn't my fault. He needed to take responsibility for his actions. His behaviour wasn't acceptable. It wasn't normal to show love in that way. Name-calling, threats, bullying, that's not love. I had to make it stop and tell someone. Just because he said he loved me and apologised, it didn't stop it happening time after time after time. Even when he begged and pleaded with me to take him back, I believed him and I hoped that his behaviour would change, but it didn't. And I had to accept that. I also had to accept that I couldn't fix him by trying to make him a better person, or by trying to be a better person myself. Whatever it was he needed for it to work, he needed to get help for himself. And it wasn't easy to leave the relationship. And it took me several years to do it. It was scary. But in the end I did it. And my life is so much happier for being out of that relationship. My confidence, which was at rock bottom straight afterwards, well, during and after the relationship ended, it really was. I felt so low and so down. I really didn't have any confidence. I was almost scared of my own shadow. But my confidence has grown so much stronger. And I'm free. I'm free to be me, who I am, my own person. So how do you approach this if you're in that situation? I think the first thing is talk to someone. Speak to someone who's outside of it, a trusted friend who's not involved, someone that you can really trust, like a family member or friend who is not going to overreact or add fuel to the fire or take his side, who you can really trust. And if you can't find that, then talk to your GP. That can help. Or maybe they will signpost you to somewhere where you can get help. You can always phone the Samaritans. They're there not just for those who are, at the end of their tether and wanting to take their life, though I have to say there were times when I felt like that. But they're there to listen, and sometimes just saying it out loud to a complete stranger can really help. So that's another alternative. Or you can talk to someone like me, an expert in the field, and someone like me can help you. And if your partner's willing to talk about it, go together and try and understand where an abusive relationship might be coming from and how you can work together to move forward to a more mutually respectful and healthy relationship. Or perhaps you just want to go along alone to talk to someone like myself, just to get your head on the right way and kind of just talk it through and help you make up your mind what is right for you. There are other organisations out there as well. National Domestic Violence 24-hour helpline, and there's also refuge.org, which will help too. The details are in the show notes, so do feel free to have a look on there and find someone who can really help you. But you are worth more, so just think long and hard about whether or not you really want to stay in this relationship. I really hope you enjoy the podcast, and you can find all the details of this episode in the show notes. If you've enjoyed it, then why not leave a review so that others can find the podcast more easily? You'll find all the details that I mentioned in the show notes, as well as links to my website, where you can find lots more information and links to other resources. My contact details are there too. If you'd like to receive my newsletter, which contains articles and my latest offers, then why not just email me? It's Wendy@yourrelationshipspecialist.co.uk. Details are in the show notes.